Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Now at 6 o'clock, a deadly Christmas Eve shooting. What investigators tell us about the shooting that left a woman dead inside a home.
And weather-wise this morning, it's a festive feel. Temperatures in the 30s, maybe a little frost out there as well. We'll go hour by hour and help you plan for your Christmas day coming up.
And we're keeping our eyes to the skies this morning after holiday travelers were left hanging across the country due to a nationwide ground stop. You're taking a live look at RDU, where things are off to a great start on your Christmas day. We thank you so much for tuning in on Christmas Day. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Chris Levinger. Although there's probably one family out there where they're on the plane going, I missed something. Kevin! Just kidding. A little Home Alone joke there. Thanks so much for joining us here on Christmas and the start of Hanukkah. We're excited to be here. We'll get to our news stories in just a second. But first, we do want to get you your weather forecast. We got Chris Michaels here for that.
I knew exactly where you were going right off the bat. That was awesome. Rocky Mount Mill starting out looking festive so far on this Christmas morning, and the weather kind of providing that festive feel for you. Now, Southern Pines, you're at 29, Wilson and Rocky Mount at 31 degrees, and then Goldsboro, Raleigh, and Durham at about 33. May have a little bit of frost out there, nothing that we can't handle for your Christmas day. Speaking of Christmas Day, let's go hour by hour. By lunchtime, temperatures are at about 50 degrees, and then we see a mostly sunny to maybe at times partly cloudy sky. Either way, temperatures make it into the middle 50s this afternoon, and then this evening we'll start out with temperatures in the 40s. But nice and dry today, so I don't expect any kind of travel troubles across the eastern U.S., including here at home. Thursday and Friday looks to be a repeat of that. Now, heading into the weekend, we'll have a slow-moving storm system that's going to help to pump in some warmth, maybe even a little humidity by December's standards, and the chance for showers and storms. We're going to walk you through the potential timeline and impacts coming up in just a little bit.
All right, sounds good, Chris. We'll see you in just a bit. Breaking news that we have been following all morning long. A woman is dead after a shooting on Christmas Eve. This happened just before midnight on Candleberry Court in Fayetteville. Nick Perlin drove the WRAL breaking news tracker to that scene where officers were there for hours.
The Fayetteville Police Department was busy early Christmas morning investigating a shooting that left a woman dead on the 500 block of Candleberry Court. Now take a look at this video from the WRAL breaking news tracker, and you can see about 3 or 4 Fayetteville Police Department units. The crime scene tape here blocking off this apartment complex, and we saw forensics units walking in and out of this building you're seeing right here. Again, this happened right before midnight on Christmas Eve. We know when Fayetteville police arrived here, they say they found a woman with gunshot wounds, and sadly, that woman died. At this point in time, we're still working with the Fayetteville Police Department to find out what led up to this shooting. We're also trying to find out if they know who fired those gunshots on Christmas Eve. In Fayetteville, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
New this morning, Wake County deputies arrested a man in connection with a stabbing near Garner that sent another man to the hospital. Omar Rodrigo Ramirez faces a felony charge of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill or inflicting serious injury. He also faces a misdemeanor assault charge for a previous domestic dispute with a woman. The sheriff's office says the stabbing happened yesterday on Academy Street. The man has non-life-threatening injuries.
Scotland Neck police are searching for this woman right here, Taniqua Scott. She is being sought in connection to a case involving 2 men who were shot. Police say that she ambushed the 2 men in a vehicle Monday night. Her car was found and seized by the sheriff's office yesterday, according to investigators. Police say Scott has a violent criminal history and is armed. Anyone with information on where she could be is asked to contact the Halifax County Crime Stoppers or police.
We are keeping our eyes on things at RDU this morning as people take those last-minute flights, and we're talking last minute here on Christmas Day. You're taking a live look at the airport this morning, and so far, so good. Running pretty smoothly. It was a different story yesterday when nearly 50 flights were delayed. A computer problem impacting American Airlines complicated Christmas Eve travel plans, and that included 11 flights at RDU. The airline briefly grounded flights nationwide. American Airlines says the issue has been resolved. The company also says most flights departed within 2 hours of their scheduled times yesterday.
A memorial set up outside the Greensboro Police Department honors the life of an officer killed during a shooting at a grocery store. Officer Michael Horan's patrol car is covered with flowers and other tokens of love and appreciation. A 12-year-old boy was among the people who stopped by to pay their respects. He says Officer Horan had a profound impact on him.
He made me feel like I can push my limits and go farther with my life. And it made me feel good and happy and joyful.
And that life is no longer here. Officer Haran was shot inside a Greensboro Food Lion on Monday.
Raleigh fire officials believe someone burned a bridge along the Raleigh Greenway on Walnut Creek Trail. This is what remains of that bridge that intersects with New Hope Road. The fire captain says there aren't any cameras in that area, so it's pretty hard to know what exactly happened. And they believe someone was playing around on that bridge, and the damage could be as much as $20,000. People living nearby say it's a loss for the community.
I'm shocked.
Yes.
I've never seen anything like it because we've walked on this bridge for years and I never would expect anything like this.
Raleigh police say right now they are not releasing any information about suspects or person of interest at this time. They're also working to determine if this fire will be investigated as arson or just damage to property.
And investigators in Harnett County are looking for the person or people they say poured gasoline on a woman and set her on fire. 20-year-old Ashanti Downey's mother spoke exclusively with WRAL, and she told us this happened between 3 and 4 p.m. on December 16th. We're told Downey was rushed to the hospital and then taken to a burn center in Chapel Hill. Davis says she cannot imagine why anyone would do something so horrific.
We were told that she was leaving a grocery store and an unidentified male came up to her and doused gasoline on her and lit a cigarette and flicked it on her.
Doctors say Downey suffered third-degree burns over 70% of her body. She'll undergo multiple surgeries during her recovery. The family has set up a GoFundMe page to help with expenses. We do have a link to that with this story on WRAL.com.
Christmas Mass returns to the Notre Dame Cathedral for the first time since fire ravaged the historic building in 2019. Thousands of people packed into the church with multiple afternoon masses held on Christmas Eve and a midnight mass presided over by the Archbishop of Paris. The cathedral will recognize Christmas with 3 masses today as well.
In Raleigh, it was a full house at Holy Name of Jesus Cathedral for midnight mass. The service included music, nativity readings, and communion. There will be another mass this morning at 10:30 in English and a Spanish service at 12:30 p.m.
Well, a reminder here, your retail choices are a bit slim today, but there are a couple of options open if you find yourself in a bind. Walgreens should be available across the Triangle. A spokesperson says most stores and select pharmacies will run from 9 to 6 p.m. And some CVS will be open during the holiday as well. The majority of other grocery and retail options are closed for Christmas and will reopen tomorrow.
A state of emergency is underway in Santa Cruz, California, and officials there are warning people to stay away from the coast. That's because of powerful waves fueled by recent storms. A man died Monday when he got trapped beneath debris on the beach between Santa Cruz and Monterey. Plus, restoration efforts are underway after the wharf in Santa Cruz partially collapsed into the water. Teams are now assessing that damage, and they're safely removing some of the issues forward there. The collapse sent 3 workers into the water, and lifeguards rescued 2 of them. One swam to safety, though, but no one was hurt.
And Chris, in Northern California, travel and outdoor activities are being affected by a big snowfall. Meteorologists say 6 to 8 inches of new snow is possible through Donner Pass today, with up to 12 inches possible at the higher elevations at area ski resorts.
In Cumberland County, a handful of white flag shelters and warming centers will be open today through Friday. Warming centers include the county's Department of Social Services, the Public Health Department, public libraries, even rec centers. You can find a full list on the county website if you need to go.
This morning, the Durham Rescue Mission is getting ready to serve Christmas breakfast. This is video from a previous year's event. It begins at 8 a.m. at the men's campus. Then at 8:30, the men will receive Christmas gifts from the Wish Tree.
All right, you are likely ready for some football and some star-studded halftime performances during the NFL's Christmas Day games. Mariah Carey will open the doubleheader with a taped performance of her holiday hit, All I Want for Christmas Is You. If you didn't know why it's taped, well, she had the flu, and that's why she had to cancel a recent performance. The Kansas City Chiefs will play the Pittsburgh Steelers at 1 p.m., followed by the game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. That's at 4:30. Then Queen Bey will perform in her hometown of Houston during the Ravens-Texans halftime show. Both games will be streaming live on Netflix. A lot of people are likely tuning in for Beyonce. All right, coming up in What's Trending in about 10 minutes, how Beyonce is poking fun at Netflix while promoting her hometown performance.
And another setback in western North Carolina. The road collapse along I-40 that's pushing the reopening timeline way back.
And folks, I would recommend you check your medicine cabinet. We're going to talk about the eye drops you should look for that may cause fungal infections.
And this morning, starting out, temperatures in the 30s. We make it into the 50s by the afternoon. Overall, a pleasant Christmas day. We're tracking a weekend storm system that could impact post-holiday travel coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
All right, starting out our Christmas morning with that festive feel in the air. Temperatures for most of us in the upper 20s and lower 30s so far. By 8 a.m., mid to upper 30s, 9 a.m., we're near 40 degrees. Plenty of sunshine to start out. You may see a few of those high-level wispy cirrus clouds coming through and the sunshine filtered out from time to time. But aside from that, temperatures reaching about 52 to 57 out there. Raleigh at 55, Goldsboro and Durham 54 as we head into the afternoon. And whether you're checking out Christmas lights or maybe ringing in Hanukkah this evening, expect temperatures to go from the upper 40s at 5 p.m. to the upper 30s by 9 p.m. Smooth sailing in terms of travel over the next few days. Few showers possible Saturday. We'll talk about that weekend storm system in detail.
Chris, thank you. At least one person is dead and several others hurt after an explosion at a shopping center in Russia. This happened in a South Russian city. We know emergency officials say a woman died after the explosion. A large fire erupted and at least 9 people were hurt. No customers were inside at the time of the explosion.
New body camera video shows the moments firefighters responded to a deadly boat explosion in Florida. Look at the video here. This happened Monday evening at a marina in Fort Lauderdale. Investigators say the boat exploded after its engine started. You can clearly see the flames still there and the smoke smoldering from the boat. Investigators say that boat exploded after its engine started and 7 people were on it at the time. 6 of them were hospitalized and several had serious injuries. Divers searched the waters for a final person who was found dead. The fire from that explosion spread to another vessel, but it's unclear what caused the explosion when the engine started.
A 19-year-old was taken into custody in connection to a Christmas Eve shooting at a Tennessee Walmart. Police in Clarksville say LeBron Gibson is facing aggravated assault charges after he was found to be the primary aggressor in an incident that led to a shooting. Police say Gibson showed a gun when he was arguing with another man. That's when police say the other man acted in self-defense and shot Gibson multiple times. Gibson is in the hospital and will be taken to jail when he's released. The Wake County Sheriff's Office is looking for the person who fired gunshots into cars in 2 separate cases. The first one happened around 8:30 Monday night. That was on I-540 near Buffalo Road. The second one happened near the intersection of Wendell Falls Parkway and Eagle Rock Road.
It's pretty frightening, you know. You can't drive in your car without fearing that somebody will actually shoot at you on the road. You know, it's bad.
The sheriff's office has not said if the 2 shots fired cases are connected or just very similar. Deputies did say that no one was hurt in either case. Crews working to repair Interstate 40 after Helene are facing another setback. A section of the interstate fell into the Pigeon Gorge last week. Crews were planning to reopen the westbound lanes for 2-way traffic by the first week of January. The project was contracted at $10 million. This latest setback will increase the cost and push back that timeline.
This new problem, this new issue, this new slope failure, after it, there is no timeline.
The DOT says they'll need to increase stabilization to ensure the interstate is safe for travel. Bethlehem is marking its second Christmas during a time of war. There are typically thousands of tourists that visit the town revered by Christians as Jesus' birthplace during this holiday. But for a second year, celebrations will be somber. No Christmas tree in Manger Square, no marching bands. There will be only very few public displays of decoration. The manslaughter case against actor Alec Baldwin is over. This involves charges from the deadly shooting of a cinematographer on set back in 2021. A judge dismissed the case in July after prosecutors failed to turn over key evidence. Now the case's special prosecutor is backing down. Baldwin's lawyers say the decision is the final proof that he committed no crime.
If you have eye drops in your medicine cabinet, there is a new recall we have to tell you about. Alcon Laboratories is recalling a single lot of Systane lubricant eye drops Ultra PF. That's because of the possibility of fungal contamination. That can lead to eye infections. However, no adverse effects have been reported. Not yet. The recalled eye drops are in 25-count packages with a lot number 10101. They have a September 2025 expiration date. If you have the eye drops I'm talking about, stop using them. You can take them back to the store or even get a replacement or refund.
This morning, volunteers are working to serve a special breakfast for men and women in Healing Transitions Addiction Recovery Program. Alumni of the Raleigh program are preparing bacon, sausage, eggs, grits, and much more for their guests. They will also receive a Christmas gift bag full of helpful items like warm gloves, socks, and hats. The organization says this is an opportunity for participants and alumni to share their stories, celebrate recovery, and encourage one another.
All right, you're waking up on your Christmas day, you're walking outside, maybe enjoying that cup of coffee, wondering what's the rest of the day going to feel like? Well, we have meteorologist Chris Michaels here. He's the gift that we have brought to you today to have your weather forecast.
I don't know about that, but thank you. I needed that ego boost this morning. Starting out with our live look at the Jimmy V camera, and things are looking festive in downtown Raleigh and really across much of the area. And it's feeling like the holiday season, too, out there as you step outside. Temperature in Raleigh and Durham at 33, Southern Pines down to 29, Roxborough at 27, Clinton at 37. Could have a little bit of frost out there as well, especially after some of the rain that we saw in the eastern half of the area just yesterday. In terms of our plan for Christmas Day, everything looks to be good to go. By midday, we're near 50 degrees, and as we head toward 2 or 3 p.m., we're in the middle 50s with a mostly sunny to at times partly cloudy sky. I would expect more of the same tomorrow and Friday, and then as we head into the weekend, the weather pattern starts to shift a little bit, especially by Sunday. You see all that moisture coming in from the southwest. Rain becomes likely, and with it being a little warmer as well, I can't completely rule out some thunderstorms, especially by Sunday afternoon and evening. Be checking back with the WRAL severe weather team as to how that could impact your post-holiday travel. Now, by Saturday, we start out the day dry. Temperatures in the 60s. May see some showers, especially as we head into the night, with Sunday being the maiden day to keep an eye on any potential storms. But yeah, really going to be warmer by then, thanks to, again, that flow out of the southwest. Once that system Sunday passes through, I don't see a whole lot of change in the weather pattern. Not that big of a cool down, at least not toward New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So for now, looks like we could be at temperatures in the 60s as we close out 2024. Now that that's within view of the 7-day forecast. So let's get to that. Again, today we're in the mid 50s. By this evening, if you're checking out Christmas lights or ringing in Hanukkah, it's going to be a pleasant one out there. Tomorrow and Friday, you can essentially copy and paste today's forecast onto that. 30s in the morning, 50s in the afternoon. Again, the weekend will trend warmer, Sunday morning especially. That's when we start in the 50s and see highs in the 60s. Beyond that, looks like Monday's mostly dry, and then as we head into New Year's Eve, forecast data a little all over the place, kind of consistent on the warmth, but there could be a chance for some showers. So all the more reason to be checking back with our forecast anytime on the WRAL News app.
Chris, thank you. A Christmas Eve strike, why thousands of Starbucks workers walked off the job yesterday, including here in Wake County.
Plus, don't worry, folks, we've got you covered with a look at the places open today, just in case you have some last-minute needs.
And here's a look at last night's winning lottery numbers. Good luck.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Beyonce is performing during the halftime show of Netflix's first NFL Christmas game day.
And she's having a little fun while promoting it. Time for a look at What's Trending. So she posted this video promoting her performance on Instagram. The clip features Beyonce playing a banjo in a football field. And at one point, the video appears to buffer right there, zooms in on her face. And then, wait for it, hold. Oh, look at that. She's just playing. She was poking fun at Netflix's history with streaming live events. What was it? It was the boxing event, right?
Iconic, yes.
That set a lot of people.
Oh, it was a hot mess.
The internet was just on fire.
And
it was
everyone
like,
was like, they better get it together for Beyonce because so many people are going to be tuned in today.
The Beehive will be after people
Yes.
if there is even 1 second of buffering during that show.
I love how she's even trolling Netflix. She's like, get it together.
It was a big moment, so you got to poke fun at it.
Yes. Well, Cobra Kai is coming to an end. Netflix announced the last 5 episodes of the Karate Kid spin-off show will drop Thursday, February 13th. Netflix also released a teaser giving fans a glimpse into the new episodes.
So I watched the Karate Kid growing up, but I still have not watched Cobra Kai, and I know it is outstanding.
There's so many seasons.
There are so many seasons, and with shows like this, sometimes people think, oh, that's just Hollywood milking a story. I hear it's actually really good, very creative, and we finally get to see things from the bullies' take of things from the movies. So it's pretty cool.
I think you will love it. Watching it now that it's coming to an end, you'll be able to have one sitting to just binge for a couple of weeks. You're going to enjoy it.
But the question is, will it have a connection to the upcoming Karate Kid reboot movie? We'll watch to see.
We'll take a look at this. Babies at UNC Health Rex and UNC Children's Hospital in Chapel Hill are all dressed up in their holiday costumes.
Hello.
This has become a tradition to help them enjoy the holidays.
Look at them little toesies. All right, so like many boys and girls on Christmas Eve, the Biden family tracked Santa as he made his way through the United States. Must have missed my house, Santa. No, I'm kidding. The president and the first lady took calls with NORAD. The president shared a photo on X saying that Santa's on his way. NORAD thanked them for being special Santa trackers. At least 100,000 kids call into NORAD each year to ask about Santa's location. That's on a need-to-know basis, kids. Come on.
And did you know that the bald eagle was never officially designated the national bird until now? President Biden signed a bill yesterday making it official. Although the bird is at the center of the national seal, it was never formally recognized as the country's official bird. Preston Cook, who collects eagle memorabilia, discovered the oversight while he was writing a book about the birds. Cook says he is happy things have been corrected.
Such a majestic bird.
All right, guys, time now 6:26, and we're starting out with a live look at the WRAL tower, all lit up for this Christmas morning. We'll help you plan for Christmas and keep track of a storm system that may impact post-holiday travel in the next half hour of news.
We're also following that breaking story from overnight, a woman dead after a shooting just before midnight. What investigators are revealing about the scene they studied for hours.
Plus, Raleigh police and fire officials are looking for the person responsible for this, burning a Greenway bridge. Hear from neighbors upset that someone would commit the crime.